They told us we couldn't survive without them. They told us we'd lose our laundromats, our nail shops, our hair stores. Like black people don't already own washing machines in 2026. Well, guess what's happening right now? Before we dive into the full story, comment where you're watching from and don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Because what's unfolding in this Asian-owned nail salon across black neighborhoods right now, it's not a warning anymore, it's a receipt.
Remember when I said don't boycott, we got to replace? This is what I'm talking about.
Our strategy is go as close as humanly possible to them. We're better and cheaper. Why not?
Replace these businesses in our community. You got to support each other. Every community has a niche, something that they're known for. We don't have to be known for just what the media portrays us as. We're not just athletes and performers. We're not here just to entertain folks. We are great business minds. We have businesses. We just need to find our niche and start that business today.
That's the American dream.
What business are you going to start today? Put it in the comments. If you don't know how, I can help you for free from conception to trademark. I've done it all. Drop ship to your TikTok shop, sell on TikTok, source stuff from Alibaba, AliExpress. I've owned properties, restaurant, nonprofit. I even had the first Uber courier service called Cabbies. I'll talk about that later. Sell these items, get it fulfilled by Amazon. I do all of that and I can help you too. So let's go.
Look, y'all, I don't know how true this is. But a little birdie then told me that them Asians, they planning a coup. They planning a coup because supposedly they're about to drop some Juneteenth specials this coming week to try to get us back in their beauty supplies and their nail salons. Don't fall for the okie doke. Don't fall for it. But they supposedly trying to set up some Juneteenth discounts to get y'all back in their establishments, and we not having it. Please don't fall for the BS. Keep your head on swivel. Stand firm and stay out of their businesses. That man in Triple Dog dared us, and we finna take this to mile. We finna take it all the way through. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. We don't need no Juneteenth specials from them. Drop in y'all comments if y'all start seeing the advertisements. Drop in the comments once you start seeing them, so we can know what city's trying to do it. One band, one sound.
This is why when y'all say black people can't come together, I just shut my mouth because y'all are showing out on this Asian boycott. Saturday, June the 6th, empty. Nail salons, empty. Y'all are showing out. Now, if you recall, he's the one that told us that we couldn't survive without any Asian-owned, stores in our community, and told us if we did a boycott, he would take away the laundry mats, right? They would not have laundry mats for us as if we don't own washers and dryers in 2026. Now, some of you actually seem to be surprised at the Asian community, some of them anyway, that are really thinking that we're ignorant and too ignorant to have our own. Guys, don't forget about 2023. Do y'all remember in 2023 when they ended affirmative action? And that was in part to the Asian community. They let themselves be pushed to end affirmative action against the blacks. And people always say against the blacks as if we're the only community and we're the number one community to benefit from affirmative action. We weren't, but that's a discussion for another day. So in case you didn't know, the Asian American Coalition for Education, along with 60 other Asian American groups, got together and filed several civil rights law complaints against Harvard, okay? And they supported students for fair admissions. Now, if students for fair admissions sound familiar, that's because they are the ones who filed these lawsuits that went to the Supreme Court. President and fellows of Harvard College and also against University of North Carolina. They combined the two. They said that they felt it was so unjust. They were expected to perform higher to get into Ivy League colleges. And that's not the case for everyone, i.e. black people. They decided to do it in groups so that no one could pick out a specific Asian American to target. But the fact that there were 60 different groups along with the Asian American Coalition for Education speaks volumes. Now, once affirmative action ended, do you think there was a big surge of acceptance into Ivy League colleges for Asian Americans? No poochie pies. According to the Manhattan Institute, there was a 2% increase across the board of Asian Americans being accepted into Ivy League schools. However, there was a decline in Blacks and Hispanic enrollment. Like other communities, Asian communities seem to forget that they benefit from all the hard work that the Black community has done. And that's okay if you forget. We don't have to remind you because, baby, we just keep doing what we do, which is us. So I'm proud of all you guys standing in solidarity because they're basically calling us stupid as hell, and we're not. Leave me a comment. Bye, y'all. Bye.
Boycotting's not enough. Boycotting the Asian community is just not enough for me. Honestly, I feel like we need to understand what we're competing against. All right. And in order for us to like really crush our competition and let them know like we really don't need them for real, because we don't. And what that video told me was that their business models, they came here and they made great business models that work in our own communities. And we haven't figured out how to do that. So I'm going to take my accounting expertise and bring it to you. So first of all, we need to understand what we're competing against. All right. Now, one person goes over to Asia, they come here, or that one person comes from Asia, they come over here, they work, save money, buy a building, open up a nail salon. They call 5 of their family members and say, hey, nail salon is up and running. You guys come over here and we're going to start working. Now, this is the one thing we're missing and we don't understand about our competitor. They're not going to pay them the same thing that we would expect here in America. Why? Because their expectations are different. They're not coming here thinking they're going to make $17 an hour. They're actually okay with making 10. They're not rich. So their largest expense is now cut in half. Not only that, but their business model makes sense for our own Black communities, right? And I'll say for the specific communities that one man was talking about, right? He's talking about low income communities. Let's keep it a band. And the reason it works for us is because their price point is low. Why is their price point low? Because they do high volume. High volume meaning there's 5 different people, maybe 6, 7 different employees in there. They can afford to have 6, 7, 8 employees there because they're only paying them $10 an hour. They do not have to pay them the standard rate of like 17. So they can have more employees in there, right? So more employees equals more people that can get done, right? They can probably bust out about $1,500 to $2,000 a day working on maybe, 30, 40 women in one day. That's easy work for them. And that's only one day. So high volume is what helps them. High volume, low price point, okay? Also keep in mind, largest expense is very minimum because they're using foreigners to handle their labor and their business. All right, so now let's talk about us in our Black community. I'm not sure why we have all these one-off nail salons. And when I mean by one-off, meaning you have one person in this nail salon, in this studio that's charging about $150 per set. That doesn't work. Why would that ever work? 1, you're not helping the community. 2, you're not giving jobs. 3, yeah, you might be making $600 in a day. But how long is that going to last? It might not be consistent, and you're doing all the work, right? Because you're just one person. So you're doing the marketing, you're doing the sales, you have to do the nails, you have to do the cleanup, the taxes, the accounting. You're doing everything because you're one person. But if you opened a business, you can spread the wealth. So hear me out. Again, disclaimer, I am not in the nail industry, so I don't know all the details, but I'm an accountant and I'm really good with numbers. So follow me here. What if we did 2 different models in a nail factory, meaning the first model being a membership model, okay? You tell 150 women that, hey, you can get your nails and toes done twice a month for $200, right? Or maybe you say $300. I'm gonna go with $200 though for math's sake, okay? If you can get 150 women to do that, that's going to be $30,000 in recurring revenue every single month. Guaranteed. $30,000 in recurring revenue, okay? Now, let's talk about the highest expense. It's going to be payroll. You make it $30,000 in recurring revenue, you can afford to pay somebody $17 an hour. It might cost you about, with 5 employees, that's probably going to cost you about $12,240. That's paying 5 employees, $17 per hour, and they're working about 36 hours per week. That's going to be $12,240. If you add in the taxes and the payroll fees that you're going to have to pay, that's going to be about $16,000, okay? But you just made $30,000. That leaves you with $14,000 left, or 40%, 47% of your revenue to pay for other things. And that's just one tier. The second tier is that these nail techs that can build their own clientele, come work in the studio in our building. We take 10%. The other 90 is for you. You think one nail tech, let's say they do $5,000 per month, okay? And that's minimum. They do $5,000 per month. We're going to take 500 of that. You get 10 of those. You done made an extra $5,000. So now instead of $30,000, you just made $35,000. Great business model. Everybody eats. You have your employee, you have your people that want to do their own business. They're keeping 90% of their revenue. Then you have the people that are doing hourly, and you're doing a membership model with them. I want to hear y'all thoughts and what you would think about it, but my goal is to build something sustainable to where we never have to go back to the Asian community. It's not a question of boycotting. You'll never see us again because our business models work in our own communities. All right, that's all I have. Share your thoughts. Bye.
So as someone who came from a family business that has actually operated my own family business with my husband, okay, I honestly think that it's okay if the Black community wants to boycott Asian businesses. I mean, I stopped going to nail salons because I didn't like the way that they were talking shit and making me feel uncomfortable, and I felt like I was being discriminated on because I wasn't Vietnamese. I stopped going at least 5-6 years ago. That's when I started doing my own nails. Now, the Black community has every right to be able to apply their money to wherever it is that they are accepted to, whether it's to their own community or someone else that they personally know. I actually find it very offensive that, one, people think they can tell Black people what they can and cannot do with their money, right? And two, that you guys would even challenge their discernment as to why they choose not to go to any other establishments anymore for the safety of their own people and their family and their kids. That's actually insane. This child, Cyrus, is a child that got murdered, but this isn't the first time that this has happened to their people. And the crazy part is that this is their country. Everybody who's an immigrant here, every person of color, came to their country because America is white Americans and Black Americans. Now, do I think boycotting is going to work? I think that it could work because obviously words are not enough at this point, right, to make any type of changes. But at the same time, I do believe that there is just problems in the system. There needs to be some type of heavy regulation that needs to change within the systems of giving out businesses or allowing people to open establishments in anywhere. And just fully giving it to anybody else besides Black Americans, because it's very difficult for someone in the Black community to really just go and get a business back then. Now it might be a little bit easier, but there are still some discrimination against it, right? They're going to make it very difficult and everybody's going to try to shut them down. You guys don't be asking the right questions. Do you guys ever wondered, or have you guys ever studied about Black Wall Street? Those are the types of questions that you need to find out. You over here asking me, do you own your own family businesses? Look, I would never want to spend my money on anybody who's going to be racist towards me, killing my people, targeting my family, my kids. I would never want that. So if boycotting works because words are not enough, because they've been saying it for so long, they've been trying to reach out and try to communicate with every community of color at this point, and then there are people actually giving them backlash and being disrespectful, talking about we got our own Chinatown, we're going to stop having Chinese foods. That's some weird shit. And for the people who are saying oh, not everybody's like that though, not everybody deserves that. You don't think that the people of the Black community already knows that? Why are you guys being so rude? They don't have to be told that. They don't have to be persuaded that. That's insane. It's disrespectful. Asian Americans, I just really want you to understand this. When you guys say stuff like that, you make it seem as if the Black community is incapable of making their own decisions. You guys are telling them what they should do, how to think, what they should do and spend their money on. It's insane. If you guys really want to bring solidarity and bring unity to our communities, the Asian American community and the Black community, what we can do in this type of conversation is that Asian people just need to sit down and listen, because some conversations just require you to listen.
The way y'all keep coming with excuses as to why these nail shops and other Asian businesses and restaurants and stuff are empty, y'all really don't believe that when Black people set their minds to it, that they can actually stick to it and make differences. But then again, yes, y'all do. It's why y'all try so hard to convince us, like white supremacists have always done for so many years, that it doesn't matter when we unify, when clearly it does. But to see y'all writing all these excuses, it's a Monday, oh, it's still too early, or this, or maybe just people are standing on their word, Black people, and keeping their money in Black businesses. Bravo, Black people.
I support the economic boycott that the Black community has been calling for against Asian-owned businesses. And here's why. You should never spend your time and energy in people that don't see you as humans. That if you went into their store, you would fear for your life. So let me give you an example. Anytime I want to eat Mediterranean food, I've learned that Mediterranean is a very loose term for a region that's currently being colonized. I'll call the restaurant and just straight up ask, is this restaurant owned by an Israeli person? And or is the head chef an Israeli person? If they say yes, I say, well, that's unfortunate because I cannot support a restaurant that supports genocide in an apartheid state. And not only that, I'm going to put your name on a list that I started in 2023, which is just my Excel spreadsheet, with other friends who also don't support Zionist institutions. And also on a tangent, like, what is Israeli food? These are the lengths that I am willing to go through in not supporting a business that doesn't see every human with dignity. We should already be boycotting corporations. Like, for example, Hyundai, which is a Korean company, their bulldozers are currently tearing down homes in the West Bank of occupied Palestine. So they're displacing the indigenous people. We should be boycotting, or at the very least, not buying the latest iPhone every year, because Apple is illegally mining cobalt and coltan in the Democratic Republic of the Congo and using slave labor to dig out those minerals.
Hey y'all, Miss B back again at another beauty supply store. And listen, I'm seeing all these sales. I saw 50% off, 75% off. And why is that? Because we are not up in there, y'all. I walked through this gigantic beauty supply store and the aisles were empty on a Saturday. We are doing it, y'all. Now, one thing I did notice though is that I saw a few Black men in this store, which I was surprised by, but I know that y'all need your wave caps and your wave brushes and your clippers and all of that. I would only ask, please, let's all lock in. There are Black-owned beauty supply stores in most areas. So guys, let's get on this. I know that y'all were concerned about whether or not the women were gonna follow through, and we are following through, y'all. So we need everybody to lock into this transfer of wealth, this blackout. We got this, y'all. We are doing it, and we need to do it together. So I love y'all. We are doing this thing, and I'm so proud.
Okay, y'all, I was on my way up to check out this new nail salon that I heard was over there by the Walmart, by the Rainbow store. And I was like, well, let me stop and see what the traffic is looking like over here since I was up here the other day. And so when I did, I bumped into this lady. And let me just say, ma'am, if you see this video, I apologize. I was just passionate and a little tongue-tied and a little nervous too. So this was trying to stop you from going into the nail salon. I feel like I might have just ambushed you. So I'm sorry to you, lady. But this is what happened, y'all. Is anybody in that nail shop? Is it customers in there? How many? About 3? That's 3 too many. We on an Asian business boycott. That means food and everything. Yeah, because when they killed that boy Cyrus, that little 14-year-old Black boy, Yeah, the agents came out and started talking junk about how we need them in our community. They said, who you gonna buy your liquor from? Who? Oh no, man, we doing an Asian boycott, man. Don't go in there. We're boycotting Asian businesses. We got a black nail salon right across the street. Walk-ins welcome. We're not supporting them no more, sister. I'm trying to tell you. You do what you. No, I'm just trying to inform you. I'm not trying to tell you. As I'm trying to inform you, there really is a Asian boycott going on in the black community. A lot of people aren't on social media, which is where it originated, because that's where the insult started. There was an Asian little boy there was a black little boy that got shot. His name was Cyrus. He was 14 years old, and he went inside of an Asian convenience store. They thought he stole a bottle of water, and he shot him. And so the conviction, he got away with it. The trial was last week. After that, a lot of people in the Asian community that own businesses came out and started talking about how we don't need them. If we boycott them, that it's not going to mean anything to them because we need them. They're so embedded in our community. Where you going to get your liquor from? Where you going to get your nails done? Where you going to get your eyelashes? Where you going to buy your weave hair at? This is what it says. So we are supporting intentionally black-owned businesses. Now, if you would let me I'm sorry, I'm just passionate. I was trying to just get your attention. Right across the street, the Golden Nail, the Gold Nail, it's a black-owned walk-in salon across the street, and it's called the Gold Luxury Nail Bar, and it's right next door to the Planet Fitness. The owner is KK, and they do beautiful service. It's another black-owned hair store that's right there in Fairburn, and it's another one over there in it's a lot of them in Jonesboro. You just have to look intentionally. That's all I'm trying to say. Just be intentional, because we can't keep spending our money with them. We're trying to rebuild our own wealth and invest in ourselves right now. And so I'm just trying to spread the word. I just happen to be riding past. Okay, so I just want to. It's called the Luxury Nail Bar. No, we have to listen. That man said something horrible. He said we don't need them. He said we need them. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not. Listen. For years we've been going through this. Okay, for years they know the black community is what feeds them, clothes them, gives them an opportunity to drive these nice cars and stuff. Nobody was listening. We wasn't even saying nothing about it. But y'all killed one of our children. No, it was in South Carolina. Happened 3 years ago. Just be aware. Okay. All right. Now, before I got interrupted, my goal was to come over here because I know they did not open a daggone Asian nail salon in the midst of a black business burst. Here we go. They did open it. They outside. Let me see. Ain't nobody in there. Ooh, ain't nobody in there. It's nice though. Ain't nobody in there. All that money they spent for.
The boycott on Asian businesses has definitely been happening the last few days, and ever since that Jack in the Box who made that challenge video towards the black community, it has only made things worse for the Asian community. What really blows my mind is that there are Asian Americans who still hasn't gotten it through their thick skulls yet. Some of them are crying, some of them wondering why this is even happening to them, others are hoping this just blows away soon. Some of them are still up to their old shenanigans and haven't learned a thing yet, but the one thing they're refusing to do, which is the most obvious answer, is to address the anti-blackness within the Asian community. I feel like it's a pretty straight arrow, no? It's not like the arrow is growing legs and performing acrobats. It's a straight arrow to the point. Many Asian Americans say, well, this has nothing to do with me. Besides, Rick Chow is Chinese, I'm Vietnamese, or I'm Thai, or whatever. And the point is, it does not matter, because black people has experienced prejudice and anti-blackness in most Asian ethnicities and nationalities. Which goes without saying that anti-blackness is very prevalent all across Asia. It goes without saying that it's the same with Asian Americans. And the best way to do that is for Asian Americans, regardless of ethnicity and nationality, is to educate themselves. Start from the beginning. Why is anti-blackness in the Asian community is such a backwards mindset? Why is the black and Asian solidarity is so vital and important? Start exactly how you got here. Why are you even here in the first place? Who actually opened the path for you to come to the United States? Who defended you when no one else did? Who did business you when no one else did? Who helped you open businesses and welcomed you back in open arms when no one else did? Who stood for your rights, your freedom, and also wanted you to give civil rights along with black people when no one else did? Who welcomed you into our homes, our schools, our neighborhoods when no one else did? Because if you think it was the government or the white man, you are sorely mistaking yourself. Black people didn't just defend Asian people in the United States. We defended you in your own countries, the Philippines, Vietnam, Japan. Many of us even defected from our own countries just to fight alongside yours. And until everyone is caught up to speed, nothing's going to change no time soon. Hope this helps.
Well, and shout out to the sister who's doing some good recon, in what they're saying about us as black people. So they're not apologetic about anything. They're just pissed off at you. Because how dare you, black people? So you remember we talked about last night about the collective self-esteem of black America and how black America for a very long time had this low self-esteem. That's why you beg for coalitions. You beg because you always wanted a friend. You always want a friend. If anybody just acknowledge you, you're like, oh my God, it's great, right? And now what's happening and what I have been seeing happening, which is a beautiful thing, mind you, your collective self-esteem is starting to raise. And when your collective self-esteem starts to raise, you're like, I don't need nobody. I'm good. Man, I got my community. What I need from them? Man, we got a whole $2 trillion that we make as a collective. Well, I don't need nothing from none of y'all. That's when you understand your power. That's when you understand your high collective self-esteem. Once you understand that you are the culture, not a culture, you're the culture. That's what also, like me, example, you know why I don't worry about, ooh, man, maybe I do some stuff to maybe cross over and I don't have to cross over crap. You know why I don't have to cross over anything? Because I am part of the culture. Everybody want to be a part of the culture. I don't have to go chase nobody else's culture. All these different countries throughout the world is copying my culture. We're not copying theirs. Let's call it what it is. In a lot of these Asian countries, what hairstyles are they trying to do? Our hairstyles. What music are they trying to do? Our music. Look, K-pop, it comes directly from our music. They do hip hop in Japan. They do all these different places. They doing us. We not doing them. We not walking around with no kimonos or nothing else over here in America. We are the trendsetters. We are the culture. And they get mad. Oh, black Americans think they're main characters because we are the main character. That's why a lot of you don't like us. And we're not even trying to be. That's the interesting part. We're not trying to be the main character. It's just in us to be the main character. Main character energy, whatever it is. Even the folks don't like that about us. That they got all this power and everything they have, and they still not the main character. They still looked at as lame. And the only time they even get halfway some acknowledgement is when they mimicking us. You can go all the way back to Elvis Presley, to whoever. They got to copy and mimic who we are because we are the culture. We are the salt of America. Take us away from America and you have nothing. And them folks can't stand us for that either. But they know they don't want us gone either. And see how the sisters talking about how some of them responding about they pissed off. But at the same time, they like, well, when they going to stop spend money with us? That's how the folks feel, too. They are angry and upset with us all the time. But at the same time, they can't take a boycott from us either. Listen, Dr. King showed us one good year. One good year. Or it could be permanent. But one good year of boycott, sustained boycott, they will change laws and it will break businesses. One good year, one sustained year. That's all. And listen, if we do one sustained year and make an example, then these other groups will be like, yeah, let me go ahead on and leave them alone. I may not like them, but yeah. And see, at that point, remember we talked about last night how, the ADL and how they move and things like that. See, that's moving like them. That's a economic punishment. And Dr. King taught us that long time ago, and we don't use it enough. We don't got to go out there and commit no crime. We got to do nothing to nobody. All we got to do is say, hey, word on the street and everything what we doing right now, we ain't supporting you. We ain't supporting you. No.
The business owner, like the Asian business owners, Chinese, Korean, I never know which is which when I'm looking at them or talking to them, but they are in an uproar right now. They are so upset because it is said that their businesses are getting boycotted, that their parking lots are empty based off of a not guilty verdict that's recently happened prior to this weekend. And there's a lot of people upset, and people are really upset at the Asian community. I have never ever seen an Asian go off before until today. I have never seen a Korea or a Chinese person go off and just go in so hard until I seen it today on TikTok. These people are pissed. Allegedly, one Asian came back and said that we actually need them, that we can't make it without their businesses. They said everything that we buy is made in China, made in Korea, and so on and so on. The guy basically said that we cannot make it without their products. But yet, I don't think that he completely lied. If you go into our stores, 90% of what's on those shelves in the store, made in China. The next time you go to Walmart, Target, or any of those stores, pick up one of those coffee cups, look at the bottom of it, made in China. Your spoons, knife, and fork set, turn it over and look at it, made in China. The next time you go buy a blanket or something, look at the tag on the blanket, made in China. So they are talking, bro, and these people are pissed because they feel like the boycott is really affecting their businesses. And if it's true, and some of the videos I've seen on TikTok today is true, and they're not made up AI videos, it looks like that boycott is taking effect extremely fast. One lady pulled up to 3 of the nail salons, and every last one of them was empty, man. Now, I don't know if those nail salons open on Sunday. She could have been capping and pulled up on a day that they were closed, but it seems to me like those nail salons are open 7 days a week, man. But them Asians is starting to try to clap back, bro. Y'all better be careful. I ain't never seen an Asian go off like I seen today. It's getting crazy out here, y'all.
Yo, the boycott for the Asian businesses is really happening, y'all. When I tell y'all, even in Metro Detroit, Hazel Park, East Point, the nail shops are empty. Ain't no black women in them shits. The boycott going down, y'all.
I don't understand how the most educated group of people, Asians, can't figure out why Black Americans are trying to boycott their businesses. It's so crazy to me that Asians think Black Americans are doing this to get back at us, or that this is a generalization of all Asians that we are all racist like Rick Chow. The boycott is pent-up frustration from years of Black Americans dealing with Asian-owned businesses and constantly getting racially profiled, followed, and the overall lack of respect that they have to deal with, even though they are these businesses' said main customers. Mind you, Asians that own said businesses in predominantly Black neighborhoods extract that money and go take it back to their own communities. So Black Americans are collectively trying to say, if you're going to come in here and take our money and leave, the very least you can do is treat us like a normal human being and not assume that every Black person that walks in the door in a Black neighborhood is a criminal. Seems pretty reasonable to me.
And here is where it gets interesting, folks, because even some voices within the Asian community are stepping up and saying what needs to be said. They are telling their own people, stop crying about the boycott and start asking why it happened in the first place. Stop worrying about who is going to do your nails and start learning the history of the community you set your shop in. Because if you don't understand what Black America has lived through, the systemic neglect, the broken promises, the decades of we'll support your business but you won't support us, then how can you possibly be shocked when people finally say enough? And that's really what this whole movement boils down to, isn't it? Not hatred, not revenge, just enough. Enough showing up in someone's neighborhood, taking the money and giving nothing back. Enough disrespect, dressed up as just business. Enough acting surprised when a community that's been patient for years finally decides patience isn't paying the bills anymore. Nobody wants diversion here. Let's be real. The ideal outcome is 2 communities living in peace, supporting each other, lifting each other up. But peace isn't a one-way street. It can't be black dollars flowing in while respect flows nowhere. And until that balance gets addressed, this isn't going away. It's just getting started. So here is the real question, and I want you to sit with this one. If your business can't survive without Black customers, what exactly does that tell you about who is really been holding up your community this whole time? Drop your comments below, and if this video opened your eyes even a little, like it, share it, and I'll see you in the next one.